Hello YouTube, I hope you're having a wagtastic day out there. This is UniverseBear from the Wagatorium, and today I've brought a tournament battle replay. This is from ShetlandApache's latest Warhammer Tournament Cup, the rules of which were each player can only bring one race for the entire tournament, which is why I'm here, because all I really play is greenskins. And the way it worked was there were 8 groups of 5 players each, and each winner of that group moved on to the finals. So everyone played each other once, and whoever got the most wins got to move on. So this is part of the qualifying matches. I've never played a tournament before, so I was a little nervous, but I was really nervous when I found out I was playing against the ever-chosen champion himself, Aerocrastic. So Aerocrastic decided to bring Bretonia on this one, and I guess we can just get right into the army breakdown. So for myself, I brought a bunch of Savage Orc Biguns, as well as one group of Orc Biguns. They have great AP, not great AP, but they do have AP, and they have great anti-large for the Orcs. They're big and meaty, and high melee attack and high weapon strength. They're usually able to deal with most of what Bretonia can bring. They could take down Cav, they could take down Bretonian infantry really fast. I find it's a really good pick against Bretonia. And behind them you can see a line of nasty skulkers that's way too long, but I want to have a lot of slows because I figured Aerocrastic, he's a very talented player, and he'd have easy time microing a bunch of cavalry in and just cycle charging me from all sides. I wanted to make sure I could control the flow of those cycle charge, throw down some smoke bombs with the nasty skulkers, make sure they don't get away, and that every time they charge in I'm getting some damage back on them. Nasty skulkers also have AP, and if they're winning a fight they get even more weapon strength, so they're not bad combatants in their own right. I also have Warzag here with most of the spells. Making sure I can proc that Bonewood Staff all the time to give my whole army melee attack buffs. And I got a Goblin Big Boss Goon Squad here. Over on the side, I have some sneaky Goblin Wolf Riders and the Moon Howlers. The only thing my army is really weak against is ranged. So I was worried if he brought a lot of archers, they'd be able to pick apart my army. So I wanted to bring the Goblin Wolf Riders. Just to get back in there, shut down any archers if he brought any, and they're fast enough that they can get away from most Bretonian Cav, because Greenskin Cav really can't hold up much of a fight against Bretonian Cav, so I needed something that could get in there and get out really quick. And I was expecting more of a cavalry build, but Aerocrastic over here brought a pretty infantry heavy build, which I wasn't expecting. He did bring 2 units of mounted yeoman archers, which is a nice little skirmishing force. They're going to do quite well against my unarmored and unshielded army over here. He's also got some Royal Hippogriff Knights, who do cause fear and terror. They have a good amount of armor piercing. Also gives him air superiority. He can land these bad boys wherever he wants. Get rear charges with that fear and terror. It's going to break apart the Greenskin army. They're pretty weak to that as a faction overall. He's got a bunch of peasant mobs here, soak up the wag, just exhaust the boys before they can get onto the meatier stuff. They are supported by a group of foot squires, which is the kind of elite infantry of Bretonia. They have some good AP. They got some decent armor themselves. They could put a little dent in Black Orcs, I guess, if I had decided to bring them. Maybe he was worried about that. He's also got a Grail Reliquary here to support the front line, and he brought the Green Knight, which you don't see in most matchups, but it is pretty decent against the Greenskins. He's got ethereal, so that means physical attacks really aren't going to damage him very much. The Greenskins pretty much have no magical attacks in their roster. The only way I can lay any damage on him is if I use spell Fists of Gork, which give my units magic attacks. So pretty good choice there. He's got some Spearmen at Arms and some Beast Slayers of Bastion. I'm guessing these guys are here in case I have cavalry or monsters. They can kind of protect the back line here, make sure I can't cycle charge in the back. He's got some peasants here for some reason. Not really sure why. I guess they're just cheering on the Beast Slayers. For general, he did bring the Fey Enchantress. She's on this little cloud thing, but I think she's just technically on foot. She brought a bunch of healing spells. She brought Earthblood, regrowth. She also got Chalice of Potions, which is a good item to bring. Favor of the Fae, and then she does have her Mist of the Lady aura, which causes damage to all her opponents around her and lowers melee attack. So that's quite useful against the greenskins. You can see he also brought some field trebuchets, so I guess he brought the trebuchets instead of archer units. I'm guessing he wanted to force me to come attack him, which definitely does work. He also has them both protected by spearmen at arms in case I have any fast cavalry that could sneak in. Over here he's got some knight errants and some other knight errants. So really his cavalry force, not very strong, but the knight errants will do pretty good work against the greenskins, considering greenskins also don't have very good cavalry. So I think we can get this game underway here. I'm going to notice those trebuchets right away, and I'm just going to march my whole army forward. Don't want to take any damage. I don't need to, and I have no range, so there's no point to sit back. You can see that Aerocrastic's bringing out his skirmisher force, and the Hippogriff Knights, the Green Knights, see what he can get done. Open and fire on these Savage Orc Biggins. Really, that's the best he could do for a target, because it's pretty much all Savage Orc Biggins, and they are pretty expensive, so he's going to get some value out of that for sure. These skirmishers are going to do quite a bit of work against this army that's unarmored and unshielded. You can see he's opening fire into some of my Biggins, which is definitely going to hurt. He's going to charge these Hippogriff Knights in, charging them into my anti-large unit with Skulkers nearby. I don't know if he saw the Skulkers, but they're going to smoke bomb. They're going to get away. You can see at the same time he brought in the Green Knight. The Green Knight was able to take a little chunk off Warzag there and run away before my Skulkers came in to slow him down. Trying to do some more damage on Warzag, which is always a good call against the greenskins. If you take out their leadership, they crumple pretty bad, especially when you have some fear and terror causing units. I'm just trying to get into this fight as fast as I can. You can see my lines are getting a bit discombobulated with the trebuchet fire, and he's bringing in the Green Knight here to really to muck up these Savage Orc Biggins. Not a bad choice. I'm going to pop Fists of Gork here to get that magic damage. You can see his health is actually starting to go down now, and he's going to bring in the Royal Hippogriff Knights as support, but I'm going to run in the back there with some Biggins who, of course, have anti-large. Popping that wag, I felt it was a pretty decent time to do it. The squires are in battle. He had brought down these Hippogriff Knights. Maybe I could have waited until everything was engaged, but I felt like that was a pretty strong time to do it, and it seems to be getting me value. Fey Enchantress is in here with the nasty Skulkers, actually taking a fair amount of damage from those guys. You can see the Squires are putting up a fight. They got 60 kills. They took out this group of Skulkers pretty fast. So I'm diving in Warzag here and the Goblin Big Bosses because they all have AP, so I want to help them out on that side. You can see these Savage Orc Biggins are going to be chasing these Eomen off. Kind of forgot about them. They're pretty much going to do nothing this game, so that was definitely a misplay on my part. I've got here we go on these nasty Skulkers because I have smoke bombed these Knights Errant. I really want to get as much damage as I can on there, and I'm always worried about cavalry when I'm playing the greenskins. Fey Enchantress taking a lot of damage, but he is going to bring in a healing over here to heal up these Hippogriff Knights and the Green Knight. Definitely going to pay off for him as they're taking a fair amount of damage right now. The Beast Slayers are fighting some Savage Orc Biggins, not really their specialty considering they have anti-large and AP. The big guns are neither. I did bring in these Goblin Wolf Riders to take out the Trebuchet. I didn't want to charge this one right into the spear, so I'm going to try to come around the side, take it out that way. I still have Warzag in combat here. He is bringing in these Knights Errant. I used Effizier to tried to get a little bit earlier to stop him from charging these guys, but with a Footed Gork, definitely going to get some good value out of there. You can see how much health that just takes off, almost deleting those Knights Errant from the game. So this main clump here is really where most of the important action is going on. There's some stuff on the fringes. Peasant mobs fighting big guns are going to lose that fight, and I did get these Goblin Wolf Riders in finally, and he's going to bring the spears in to counter. Pop in leadership, just making sure everyone can stay and fight. I want to keep Warzag supported here. The Green Knight is kind of getting on him, causing some good damage. Gonna pop another wag while I bring the nasty Skulkers in to hopefully chase him away. Fey Enchantress is also hurting, but her aura is also doing quite a bit of damage as well through this big clump, so that's definitely a good situation for him right now. And you can see Warzag getting scared away. He's really low on health, so that's pretty dangerous right there. These Savage Orcs were chasing the Yeoman. I'm not sure how they got 17 kills. Maybe he forgot these guys a little bit, but either way, they got pretty decimated. And he got 19 kills, 30 kills on these Yeomans. Definitely paying for each other. I'm just charging everything in here. I really want to take out the Fey Enchantress and the Grail here. Once I take out the Fey Enchantress, the leadership's going to go down. She's going to stop giving that damage aura, which is just so hurtful in these kind of fights. You can see Warzag just kind of chilling on the side. He doesn't want to get back involved because he's so low health. Going to bring in the Nasty Skulkers and my big boss to try to get everything in there. I do have a Here We Go and some Fisted Gork going to damage that Green Knight. So it should be a lot of damage incoming there. You can see the Fey Enchantress did go. I think the Goblin Big Boss got her. So that's definitely going in my favor, and you can see the balance of power is now starting to creep up into my favor. He is bringing these Hippogriff Knights against Warzag, though, which is definitely not where Warzag wants to be. So he's going to run through the big guns. Aerocrastic is wisely going to pull out his large units from those big guns. They're so low on health, he can't afford to let them get damaged like that. And the Green Knight just kind of, taking up the time of all my troops. When they're stuck fighting him, they can't really go anywhere else. He's going to bring this Hippogriff Knights to try to snipe out Warzag. Use Effigy of the Git because I thought they were going to be on the ground. But still, allows him to get away, get into the safety of his troops. And it does some good damage as well against them. So they're almost gone. They're at their healing cap. Not that they have healing spells available to them anymore anyway. And they're going to have to run away because they're just, they don't want to take damage. They really need to cycle charge at this point. You can see he doesn't have too much left on the field. He's got these spears, the Green Knight. He does have these Yeomen that were chasing away these routing units. So that was definitely a good call from him. You always want to make sure you chase away units that might come back, because it's pretty much a free kill for you. I'm doing the same with my Goblin Wolf Riders, just trying to take out all these units that are routing. Make sure they don't come and support the Green Knight. You can see Warzag, he's had enough. I think he got a punch to the face from the Green Knight. He's going to be running off the field with his friend, this Goblin Big Boss. This is really dangerous for me. A lot of my units are pretty weak. If Warzag goes down, there's a good chance a lot of them could rout. And we start entering into a situation where once most of my units rout, the balance of power could go back into Aerocrastic's favor. So I'm going to bring in these Goblin Wolf Riders, try to block him out, make sure he can't get on Warzag and kill him. Goblin Wolf Riders have been super useful in this matchup. I'm glad I brought them. 51 kills on that one, 57 on that one, 23 on that one. And now I can bring in their bodies just to block his cav, kind of save Warzag for a little bit, and let my troops deal a little bit more damage. So he's going to try to bring these Yeomen. Once again, Goblin Wolf Riders, enough mass that they can block all that. Maybe do a little damage about, not too much. And then the Green Knight's going to get stuck in there as well. The other group of Yeomen are chasing off this big boss, so they want to make sure they're getting all the leadership off the field. Luckily, I do have one very shaky Goblin Big Boss here. He definitely notices him. He's going to try to go after him, but these big guns here, they have pretty good mass as well. So he's going to be pretty safe, not really going to be able to get in there, and I'm going to bring the Nasty Skulkers in for a smoke bomb. Trying to chase away these Yeoman archers. I know the more I can get off the field, the more the balance of power goes my way, then all I really have to fight is the Green Knight, and won't be able to cycle charge me in the back. You can see these Wolf Riders trying to cheer on Warzag, telling him that we're actually winning this fight, but Warzag doesn't want to hear it. He's just going to run. He's at -4 morale, but there's not much I can do with it. I was hoping to give the secure flanks bonus, try to bring him back, but it's not going to work. And you're going to see just how quickly my army starts to rout as soon as Warzag is off the field. So morale is starting to hit now. Fear and terror are really starting to kick in now that I don't have any leadership. Some of those units are starting to run away. I'm actually going to draw these guys back because they're so low leadership. I'm worried that if they try to get in the fight, they're going to affect the leadership of these units. And I really just don't want any kind of chain route situation happening. So I'm just going to use my more healthy units, come in, try to slowly chip away at the Green Knight. Of course, I don't have access to the Fisted Gork, so I can't give any of the magical attack. I just have to do it the old-fashioned way. One swing at a time. Green Knight is in here having the time of his life. but the rest of his army has fled the field as the power, or the balance of power, is right in my favor here. The only reason army losses isn't kicking in is because the Green Knight is unbroken. So that's pretty much going to be game there. I do manage to take him down, and the rest of my army doesn't flee. So I'll just speed it up here. Definitely a good game from Aerocrastic. It was very close. I don't think he was expecting the build that I brought, but I also wasn't expecting his build. I think some things he could have done was maybe get the Fey Enchantress out of danger a little bit quicker. She was in there a long time, but I do realize he wants to use that aura that damages, so maybe that did get enough value to warrant it. It's always hard to tell with that, I find. You can see his units did really good. The Hippogriff Knights got a bunch of kills. Knights Errant did fairly well, or at least this one did. The Yeomen did great. If he had a few more Yeomen and a few more archers, I think probably would have lost it. And so a great game from Aerocrastic. It was a ton of fun. My first tournament game, so I was pretty thrilled with it. And Aerocrastic, I look forward to playing you in the future. All right, guys, take care.